Claude Code is really pushing what is possible, and today we'll do something very complicated. And honestly, I don't want to scare you, but if you're not open to learning, this video is probably not for you. Using Claude Code together with Lovable is really powerful, and it will make your Lovable apps way more advanced. So if you want to see my future being predicted, make sure to watch until the end of this video. I have my YouTube channel right here, and this is a very transparent video from my side. I have my analytics right here, and I have all this data. You also have an advanced mode. So right here, I can just export all of my data because I want to be able to predict my growth in the coming months and years. And that is something you cannot really do in Lovable, right? I mean, running machine learning forecasting models in Lovable is just not gonna work. You need Python for that. And Python is a language I use a lot myself. And I also did a lot of machine learning projects for clients. And I know how much work it is to have something predict the future in a way that's actually correct. So I have exported this data already. I have the folders that I exported from my YouTube. So right here we have the table data, and that is just a CSV file. So if I open it, it will look like this. So this is for the amount of impressions that my videos got. I have right here, let's see, the amount of views, and right here I also have my subscriber count. Perfect. So right now we can go to Claude Code, and you can open it in the Claude desktop app, but you can also have your IDE, so that's basically where you write code, and have it in your terminal. For now, we'll just keep this in our Claude app. What we can now do is we have our folders right here. So I can now give Claude access to my files and actually just work together with my Supabase so that we can have our predictions in our Lovable apps, because that is where I'm going with this. So we can select a specific folder where Claude Code will work in, and then we have this prompt. So we want a YouTube subscriber prediction system with backtesting. And that basically means with all the data we have, do a lot of tests to actually get to a model that is correct. And like I said, don't get overwhelmed. I will share this prompt with you in the build loop prompt library. Also, this can be for anything, for revenue or any other data point that you want to predict for. So we share the data location, the goal, the steps it needs to take. It needs to analyze the historical data and then backtest with multiple models. So it will just grab all these different models and test based on those and come up with the best model. We'll then generate predictions using the winning model, save to Supabase, so that we can then later in my own back office, which I will show you later on in this video, show our actual predictions and also have a correlation analysis. So we can now just run this and it will come up with all the code, all the Python code, all the stuff that we need, and we can give our Supabase credentials like I will show you in here. And this is basically my Supabase, which is connected to my back office. So let's run it and then we can just see what the predictions are. I hope it predicts the 100K soon, but we'll see. If you're enjoying this video, which is a bit different than my other videos, please make sure to like and subscribe. A lot of more content like this, which is a bit complicated but very useful, is in the pipeline. So right now we need to click always allow for session. It will just make it a bit faster. Obviously, you might want to check what it's going to do, but for now, I believe Claude. So let's click this. It will now really understand all of the data. And like in my past projects that I did for clients, this took a lot of time, like really understanding the data, really looking for the models, doing all the back testing. It was like days of work, which we can now just do with one prompt. So what it did is it really made an analysis already on what kind of data we have. It really understands it, and it will now be loading and merging all the CSV data into one file. It will then analyze it. So it is now making a Python file. We'll always allow for this session where it will just have all of our data imported, and it will then do some calculations and from there get the models. Let's click on always allow. Okay, let's see this. So it used profit, linear regression, hold winters, recent trend, profit, and ARIMA. Let's see. It will make predictions right now. We now need to give our Supabase credentials. And this is something really important that we see right here. So it sees that the model is being too conservative and that actually the prediction doesn't really make sense yet. So it is really checking what it's doing, seeing that it's not really fitting, and then it's actually fine-tuning the existing model to give better results, which is just really cool. So it will create an improved model that better captures my recent accelerating growth, because that's how YouTube works, right? Like, I hope after this video I get even more subs and it will grow with momentum. So it now comes up with much better predictions. Okay, perfect. Let's allow. Like, obviously we now use a few different data sources like views, impressions, and subscribers, obviously, but we can add way more to this by just talking to Claude Code, and it will make sure to do that. So right now we have our predictions. I think I will hit this a bit sooner, but still, like, I like how it's doing it. It now says ready to upload to Supabase. So we now need to get our Supabase URL and our API key. So how we do that is I still have my Supabase project separate from Lovable Cloud, but you can still ask Lovable to come up with your URL and your API key, and it will provide it to you. So even if you don't have your Supabase separate, you can still do this. But for now, I need to go to project settings. I go to API, I get my URL right here, and I need to get my API keys right here. And it will now make sure to write all the data to our Supabase. So we run this, and it will probably need to create a table still as well. So the tables need to exist in Supabase. So let me create a script that creates a table first and then uploads the data. Perfect. So it now provides us code that we need to run in Supabase to create the tables. And then once we have that, we can let it know to Claude Code, and it will run it again, fill the tables, and then we just need to show it in our Lovable app. We then have our editor right here. We run it. And you also have this in Lovable Cloud. So we have the tables, we can say done, and it will now fill up the tables. In the meantime, let me go to my Lovable app right here. And we now want a section that shows our prediction. So we can say the following. We have two new tables, which actually have a prediction of my subscriber growth. In my Analytics YouTube tab, can you please show a section that shows my prediction of my growth of my YouTube subscribers, also with the historical line of subscribers? And we now have the definition of our tables already right here. So let's run it. When we go back to our Claude Code, it says all data is uploaded successfully. We have 360 daily predictions. We have 4 milestones. And when we now go to our Supabase and we go to our table editor, we have our YouTube predictions, and if we open it, we right here have our predictions. So that is really amazing. Let's see, it is looking good. We have our upper and lower bound as well. We can now go back to our back office, and as you can see, I now have my YouTube analytics with my subscribers, and it added my growth forecast. So we see exactly what is happening when I will probably be in a specific range based on my existing data. So we have our 10K in 18 days and then our 25K in a bit more than a year. Like I said, this was previously like days of work and actually like jumping in the code and understanding everything in detail, and that is all done for us. Thanks for sticking around until the end of this video. I really appreciate it, and if you've enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe, and then we'll see each other in my next video.